reward for this.
Mm-hmm.
Cookies.
Alcohol.
Yes,
Mhm.
alcohol. Not cookies, alcohol.
I am
Yeah,
drinking
sounds
so much
wonderful.
water tonight.
What happened? Who hurt you?
I mean, I could go grab a drink.
Was it say Cider Boys?
Yeah.
Oh,
Can you get me one of those
Cider
shots?
Boys.
It's like halfway between
Thank
wine
you.
and beer. It's good.
That
Hard cider.
description doesn't sound good.
It's hard cider. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
it's like beer that tastes like wine.
hard cider's good.
I might be able to do
Bud?
that
Okay.
kind of beer. Okay, wait. Do you want me to start recording my Audacity right now or when we start streaming?
We are already streaming. We're live.
Oh.
I believe you were
I don't know
talking to
anything.
Mary when I said that.
Meow, meow. Come here, baby.
But I think you're right. Tonight is a night for drinking. I will be right back. I'm gonna go grab something.
Come here. He always has to stare for like 400 years before he'll jump. Come here. Yay! My lardo. El gordito. Oh gosh. This won't work if you're going to do that though. You'll need to lay down, baby.
Thank you.
The sass of true love. Mary. Rude. Just come lay down. Lay down. If I lay him down, he'll stay, but he like takes forever to do it himself.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Was it?
Oh,
I'm
it's
sorry.
like he was always there.
Ah, yes.
Man. Fawn boy, come bring me wine. I think my husband's playing Dying Light 2 right now, so I will just not have wine today. But that's okay. I have Mary. It's almost just as good.
Substitute wine for
better.
a cat.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to hear him purring in the episode, probably, though. My mic always picks it up.
Mm.
Because he's so loud. Look at your beautiful baby face. I should mute when I baby talk my cat. I don't think everyone wants to hear that.
Thankfully, this is just pre-show shenanigans, so...
I'm interested to hear what everyone's characters are that they wish were romanceable. I wonder if anyone will have chosen who I chose. I'm excited to know.
And Meiji said he'll be here in like 5 seconds, so we will wait to start.
Cool.
Oh,
and then that's
here.
still Mystios is the only one that we haven't heard from. But I also can't blame them right now, because looking at their Discord profile, it says that they are currently playing Dragon Age Inquisition, and I can't get too mad at that.
I get that. Yeah. That is the only excuse allowed.
I stopped this playthrough of Cyberpunk, so...
That's what I've been playing, too.
Yeah.
And I just can't bring myself to romance River, so I'm just gonna have to pick Judy again.
Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm getting all the Judy stuff out of the way first to experience all the new stuff.
Yeah, I was playing through in this one like random little side quest. Oh, I forgot I'm supposed to take a video for them. I reported it as a bug because the male V voice came. It was the only voice that occurred. Like the female voice didn't come out for the dialogue in that tiny little mission. It was only a couple lines, but
weird.
I was like, oh no, I better report this bug. Be a good little gamer. And then they emailed me back, like they were like, can you please send us a video? I'm like, I'm telling you exactly which version I'm playing on which platform with which character, and it's not enough. You can't just look in your little code. I don't know. So I feel like I already saved over the save before I finished that mission. So I'm like, I'm not going to start a new game just to show you guys that.
And
So
it
I'll
might
just-
not glitch again anyway.
Yeah. I'm like, so maybe I haven't actually looked. I was really busy the last 2 days at work. So I haven't looked to see if I had saved over a save where I could do it really fast to film it. I'd laugh if it didn't happen again and it was just some fluke.
You had any spectacular death scenes where you're driving and weren't paying
Oh,
attention?
please tell me I hit the
go
admit
flying?
button. Fuck. Okay, good. I thought I accidentally hit deny.
Maybe.
Would have been interesting.
I like how you're like, reminder, come join us. Deny.
All right. Well, we are live on all of the. Hello, Maya.
It's not
Do
this
I have-
show if
Do I have enough time to grab wine?
Oh, go
That's
for it.
allowed.
yeah.
I will be like 5 seconds.
That's
I took a
fine.
beer
That's
break.
A valid reason. Yeah. Now I feel like FOMO because I don't have wine, but I can't. Wait, let me text my husband. See if he. I don't know where he is.
Babe, please. Austin, did you bring
I'm-
Shelby wine?
Not.
How dare you? I can't disturb my cat, so
Right, of course.
it's either
priorities.
yeah, it's either he brings me the wine or I just don't get any. It's like look at his little baby face. He's got his little face on my chair
back.
arm.
It's his,
So-
his table.
That's what our fluffy cat does too. He's always on the table or the counter. Like
Mhm.
we have these dish drying mats, and if there's no dishes on there drying, he'll lay on there. And I'm like, that is the opposite of what goes on there. Clean things go on there. Like you need to move. I try to pick them up when there's nothing on there. I end up having to wash them a lot more than I feel like I should because he lays on it. He's cute though.
It's a good thing they're cute.
Yeah. I don't even know what the redeeming quality is for my husband because he's like allergic to them. I'm like, sorry, you married me, so cats will be a part of your life forever. I actually
So-
babysat some bottle baby kittens today, and I'm going to babysit them again tomorrow. Thankfully,
Aw.
she didn't leave them overnight. Yeah. I mean, I used to foster them all the time, but then I got a job and still had to watch the toddler all day. I'm like, I can't handle other babies right now, too. So I just mentor for the Humane Society here and also babysit now. But it was really nice to bottle feed them again because I miss them. Not the same kittens. Like these are stranger kittens I've never met. They're only like 4 days old.
Oh.
They're cute though. 2 little ginger babies and 1 little black kitten.
All right. Well, I think we are all here. Are we ready to start the show?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Two Girls, One Ship, the podcast where we analyze, rate, and review all that the world of video game romances has to offer. I'm Genesis, the girl who in the course of 3 days will have recorded 5 podcast episodes on 5 separate shows. My brain is frazzled, and all my lore is jumbled.
Well, I'm glad it's you and not me. But I'm Bravada, the girl who has just been her normal introverted self, has not been on 5 shows in 5 days, and also not very active in the Discord. So, 3 days? I think you said 5 days. Oh my gosh. I'm tired now. Good for you.
Obviously, I am still frazzled. I was waiting for you to say the thing about the cats, and then that didn't happen, so I was waiting for a cue.
Yeah. I
Oh,
decided. Kittens. There.
kittens. Okay. Let's go around the room and show off all the kittens. No, but I think we should go around the room and introduce ourselves because we do have some fresh new faces. Super happy about that. And some returning ones as well. But on my screen and here on the live stream tonight, Mr. Mass Effect Blue Shift, Psych88, you are first.
Hello. I'm happy to be here.
Okay, we're good. All right, and Apollo.
Hello, good to be here.
Thank you so much for coming back. You are always here with us, and it's so very much appreciated. And a new face, Shelby. Hi.
Hi, I'm so excited to join y'all.
Yeah. It's your first Patreon on the Two Girls, One Ship. I'm excited for it, especially for the topic that we have tonight. Should be a good one. And Meiji Moose. We missed you last time.
Hi, I know I really wanted to be on the last episode, but it's all good. I just realized like 5 seconds ago that my phone kept going off, and I was like, "Oh yeah, we're doing a podcast. That needs to be on silent. That's not supposed to be happening."
Yes, because you're being paid for this, so you need to be utmost professional at all times. It's
I was
not
like-
just a for fun thing. No,
Like, we're not paying him.
I'll be expecting the
Exactly.
check soon.
nah. You're
It's
good.
in the mail.
Yeah, I'll get right on that. Gosh, I can't think the last time I actually wrote a check. Something just went weird.
I told you not to say there wasn't any glitches.
That is my own damn fault. And
What happened?
What happened?
She's left us in suspense. Dun, dun.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
that's a
know,
really
I
old
know.
reference.
There we go. Well, apparently, when I changed my recording settings to be on one of these 50 jillion episodes, I reverted it back to the wrong one. And the Audacity was picking up all of you guys, but didn't pick up anything I have said yet so far. That's going to be fun. Yay for post-production.
But the meat's recording it, right?
Meet's recording it and OBS is recording it. I have like 5 various forms of backup going. So we're good. But the easiest way to go through it was now not an option. But we're good now.
Audacity had the audacity.
Audacity. Eventually I'll look into something different. But that is beside the point. We have a very, very important topic to go over tonight because I feel like this one is discussed a lot in so many different ways. I've seen a million posts on Reddit about it. I hear it in the Discords all the freaking time. And this is characters you wish were romanceable. I definitely have some opinions. And I hope you guys do too. Oh, but I will also say that we are missing 2 people tonight, but they both sent in their thoughts. So I get to read off some stuff, probably right either during or right after the mid-break is when I will bring in our 2 written entries. And that is from Captain Shenko and Toasty. So, Psych, why don't you kick us off for the night? And who do you wish is romanceable?
All right, so it's probably going to be a very interesting take because it's not a series that you guys are ever going to like cover. It's from the Borderlands series. I had wished they had been able to incorporate a romance element to like Lilith from it because she's such a badass. And then 3 happens. We're not going to talk about that, but the point is, she really comes into herself as a leader, as like a lead character, and insanely powerful character. So I do wish if you had Gearbox move forward in that particular direction of role playing aspects, that they had incorporated that.
Yeah, I have not
Was
played Borderlands, and so I don't know the character all that well, but is there any romance aspect in that game?
No, what like there's a relationship that she has with another character named Roland. Um, that unfortunately comes to an end at some point. Um, so I can Borderlands series is an FPS like role player where you're on this insane world called Pandora, and you get crazy loot, and everyone's got insane powers, and you're fighting a bunch of psychos. It's literally what the like main mob is a psycho. All for the glory of opening a vault. And so like your characters are called vault hunters. And like Lilith was one of the first vault hunters. She becomes a NPC later, and leads like a resistance and stuff. It's to me it was a lot of fun. I sunk countless hundreds of hours into the series. So anyway, that was my pick.
I love it. You'll
I was
have to
gonna say,
share
I
a
wrote-
picture.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'll post something to the Discord chat at some point.
I was just gonna say that I tried to play the first game years and years ago, and because I am a one of those gamers that will either play on normal or easy, because I don't really want that much of a combat challenge. I just like the story. And Borderlands, I could not find a difficulty setting anywhere. At the first one, I don't know. I haven't played the second one, and like it was so hard in the very, very beginning. Like I could not figure out what to do, and so I stopped playing it. I felt so dumb playing that game. I was like, I have played a lot of games. I have never not known how to navigate something. All of the missions were way above the level I was currently at, but that was how I was supposed to level up. And so I felt really frustrated I didn't play it. But everyone has always told me to play it. So I feel like I should give it another go now that I'm
So
older and wiser.
the first one does suffer from like not quite figuring out what it wanted to be. Like it wants to be a first person shooter, but it also is like one of the first games to incorporate the famous loot based system that you find in a lot of MMOs. And so like as you level, it's really based on literally your gear rather than your level that helps you move through the story.
That is cool. I really liked the art style of it,
Yeah.
mainly. I mean, it looked so cool. And I've heard the second one is really where it's at, and now they just came out with Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Is that what it was called?
Mhm.
The latest one, yeah. And then there's a DLC that was Tiny Tina's, and the name just left me. Basically, oh, what is it? Dungeon Keep or something? Yeah. Anyway, there's a great DLC that's attached to the second one. Second one truly is the masterpiece of the franchise, and insofar as I've played. But enough
Maybe I'll
about
get to it
Borderlands. We can
someday.
move on now.
All right.
Is it called Coiled Captors? Is that the name of the DLC?
Sorry, what?
Is it called Coiled Captors?
No. I
You
don't.
know about that? Okay, never mind.
All right. Apollo, what about you? Who do you wish you could hook up with?
So one's going to be kind of like that. It's not necessarily going to be a person, but I wish that there in Horizon that Aloy could have some sort of romantic quest line. Like I don't need the sex scene or anything like that. I actually don't want that in that game, but I wish that there was some sort of romantic quest line that you could veer off to that would have its own ending, so on and so on, because there's plenty of characters in there that you could have. There's at least two in there that are clearly attracted to her, who clearly want her. And then, I would like to see some sort of romance in that game. Whether it's a DLC, whether they put it in the next game. Like, I want Aloy to be able to have to fight for something besides the world, like fight for something personal to her as well.
I
That's
could
mine.
not agree more. Like, especially playing Forbidden West when, Arend is all touchy-feely with you a lot, and they clearly have a nice little flirty dynamic, or at least Arend does with her. Sun King Avad, is that his name?
I think so.
He's like, "I will literally wait for you and make you my queen when you're done saving the world." Like, he just lays it out like that, and he's super cute, so I would be fine with that, but man, oh man, if I could romance Kotallo, I would romance the shit out of Kotallo. I love him so much. I don't know what it is about him, but I love him, and the fact that I
Good
couldn't
character.
flirt with him even, I was like, this is leaving a big freaking hole in my heart. And I've had people be like, you can't romance because Aloy is just so serious. Like, it doesn't make sense for her personality. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense to not have even just like some flirty, because people are like, oh, well, Dr. Sobek didn't really romance anyone. Aloy is not Dr. Sobek, though. She's just a clone. She's her own person. Like, it would make her feel a little bit more relatable to me, because she, up until the second game anyway, she really pushed everyone away. And I don't know if that's because she was raised, as the outsider that she was, but she had Rost, like she is. So I really need her to even just have more of that best friend relationship. That would be better. That'd be cool. I feel like that's the one area those games are lacking, is like the interpersonal relationships are really lacking. And they should be, if they did it, it would be so good. It'd be so good. Please let me romance Kotallo. Please,
Well,
please.
Sun King and Erend are clearly madly in love with her. Like they would. So, I mean, come on, just give us something. Even if it's just like you said, even if it's just the flirting, they don't. It doesn't have to go anywhere. Just give us something, something.
I will take even just a like a Liara leaning head on the shoulder type of thing from a friend at this point. Like, the only time I really saw anyone touch Aloy in any kind of affectionate way was at the end of Forbidden West when Eren's like got his arm around her, which I was like, "Ooh, are they hinting at something?" But I thought that was cute. I was like, they're people, you know. They should, and I feel like it'd be a really great way to also differentiate them, other than visually, with how they look and what they're wearing, from the Far Zenith peeps. Spoilers. Like they Far Zeniths are not human really anymore, and also most of them are dead. So whatever. But like that would be nice to just have some. I just we got a squad, but it doesn't really feel like a squad because they don't go anywhere with you, and you never really. I feel like there was some attempt, like an early attempt at that kind of bonding at the base where you could talk to them, but I need more. I need more.
Meiji, you had some pretty visceral reaction to that too. Want to elaborate?
I just had like the like clearest, like it was like God was shouting at me themselves in the head. This whole conversation is us just gonna be like, well, I don't know about the new patron here, but it's just gonna be like, I really like love this game, and I really wish it was more like Mass Effect. Like, it's just like it's really cool that you can talk to them while that you're at you're at the base and whatnot, but they can't go on missions with you and shit. And it's like, oh, you just want it to be Mass Effect, basically. Which, hey, I mean, like, same.
But why mess with perfection? I mean, and to be fair, Shelby's like the Dragon Age lorecast
I mean,
co-host,
the
so
same the
same with
same
Dragon
argument
Age.
really could be, yeah, exactly.
I just want Aloy to be able to be in love. They don't have to let me. They don't have to give me, a dialogue to lead in that direction. They can make me pick one character. I don't care. I just want Aloy to find love somewhere.
It's interesting because I'm not even sure if they like because Varl and Zoe's relationship happened off camera too, and it progressed seemingly to the player very quickly, but in reality, in the game timeline, it was over the course of months and weeks. So, but I mean, the fact that like they did at least have some romance in the game, I'm like, come on, guys, you dipped your toe in the water. Let's go. Like, you can do it.
So another game that teased at romance but didn't give up the goods. All right.
Well, it's supposed to be a trilogy, so let's see what the third and last game brings.
Miss Shelby.
Okay, so um, I am, I think, legally obligated to talk about Dragon Age, since I am one of the hosts of the Dragon Age Lorecast. And more than that, I think that I'm legally obligated for my answer here, to be Varric from
Mhm.
Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition. Almost every Dragon Age fan wishes that Varric was romanceable, I think. And I do too. I'm not sure that my Hawk in Dragon Age 2 would romance him, but I think that my Inquisitor would definitely be tempted to. But also, just even more than that, like there's not a full dwarf romance in any of the three Dragon Age games, which I think is really a travesty and something that I'm hoping that they remedy whenever Dragon Age 4 comes out, because we need a dwarf romance.
I
Wait,
so I
isn't there? Can't you romance Ogren in Dragon Age Origins?
nope.
Am I wrong
You
about that?
cannot romance Ogren.
What the hell? I've been lied to
No.
by my
You can't,
imagination.
yeah. You can't romance him. I'm not sure many people would want to either personally. But you can flirt with Scout Harding in Inquisition, but it's just flirting, like it's not an actual romance, which is sad. But yeah.
I feel like dwarf characters are often overlooked because everyone wants, and I'm guilty of this too, so I'm not like throwing shade, but everyone sims for elves, and I get it, or also Kunari in Dragon Age, but
You
like
know what's funny
overwhelmingly
is that
elf sims.
listening to the Lord of the Rings lorecast that Tom's been doing has really made me realize that like in like every major work of fiction, dwarves are always the butt of the joke and like nothing else. It's really sad. Like even going all the way back to Tolkien, like that's still, it's always that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and
definitely.
like all dwarven like societies in most fantasy settings are like in decline. Like we don't see any like fantasy dwarven societies that are thriving, which I think is interesting. Like, there's all kinds of different takes on elves, but not really dwarves.
They all live
That's
underground. They all do some
Yeah.
form of stonework. They all talk with a Irish, Scottish, Welsh accent. They all
Well,
have
I think
huge beards.
yeah, I think that probably came just because, um, I don't know. Never mind. I don't know where I'm going with that. I was just thinking of the Germanic roots of like dwarves in folklore. It's probably why they all kind of have the same base traits, just like elves. I mean, I don't know. A lot of like the Fae stories you see nowadays are very elf-like too. But I was
Plus,
just thinking that was something really cool about Dragon Age was like elves were enslaved. Like that was something I'd never seen before. But actually hadn't ever really thought about that about dwarves, and I can't think of a story where dwarves weren't at the height of their power or even just the main character, you know? We kind of almost got there with hobbits, like they're short, but that's it, like I mean, unless you're playing as a dwarven warden or something, but in fiction books or movies where dwarves are, they're always the side character. And so I don't know. That's interesting. I wonder why that is. I wonder if anyone's like studied that. I want to study that.
I have no idea
I'd
how
say
many.
go on, Jen.
Oh, no, I was simply going to say I have no idea how many cat meows I'm going to have to edit out of today's episode. She's yelling at me.
Has she been fed? Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say the only ones I can think of that truly have dwarves like not in decline is Kevin Hearn's Iron Druid Chronicles. He deals with a lot of mythology.
Oh my
And
god, you've read those?
oh yeah, I have.
I
And I
love
mean,
that series.
quick shout out, he's going to be here in OKC in June. But
I've
anyway,
met him. I
yeah,
met him when
he's
I lived in
awesome.
San Diego. He's the best.
So, but when he deals with the Norse, the dwarves are just doing their thing. They have a stable economy. They're just it's not until literally, I'm not going to spoil anything, the actions of the thing that happens that everything kind of goes to hell. But until
That's what I
then,
was literally that's what I was literally thinking of. I was like, wait, weren't dwarves like aren't they part of Norse mythology originally? And then I was like, wait, maybe that's just Iron Druid. Like I don't want to say
I
that
don't
like
know.
it's a fact.
I don't know which one came first, chicken and the egg here thing, but like it was just that was the one franchise or series that I came up with. It was like, all right, here's one where dwarves aren't literally sucking it.
But I think it's interesting though because at least from what I know, which is not granted a lot about Norse mythology, I have read the Edda. It's back there on the bookshelf, but yeah, like they are just like the dwarves in every other story where they make all the weapons. And I just think that's interesting how they're never like the leaders or anything like that. They're just like making everyone's weapons and that's it. They're just of service in the caves beneath everyone. I don't know. It's interesting. But I guess they're really good at their craft. Everyone's always talking about how dwarven weapons are the best. So I don't know.
Yeah. So I was full, like my whole idea was to go Varric, but then I changed my mind. So I might have to fight you on this one because I don't know if I would want Varric's heart to be broken. Because if you romance him in DA2, he and Hawk have to split up. I mean, yeah, maybe they can still say that the relationship's going on, but he has to leave to become part of Inquisition. And if you romance him in Inquisition, well, from what I've heard, your Inquisitor might not necessarily make it at the end. So it all depends. I know there's like, yeah. So it all depends on what
No
happens.
spoilers.
No spoilers. But that just means that Varric gets his heart broken again. And I don't know if I can make Varric get his heart broken that many times. And I think it would
That's
be
fair.
weird to romance him as two separate people.
That's true. I definitely think they would have had to like choose one game, not both.
Yeah.
Because that would be, I feel like that would be weird. But I was gonna say that I also love just like the best friend vibes that Varric and Hawk have. I think that's really sweet. So I do appreciate that. But yeah.
All right. Mage moves. Hit me with your best shot.
Oh God, I don't even want to talk about this one. I just want to listen to everybody else talk about the things that they're passionate about. This is great. This is why I listen to Robots Radio, is just listening to nerds talk about nerd shit. And the reason that I don't want to do this is because everybody's gonna get mad at me.
Go for it.
I originally was gonna pick somebody from Mass Effect. Now everybody knows there's a million people in Mass Effect that everyone wishes that they could potentially make a romanceable partner. But I was actually inspired by you guys doing your episode on Judy in Cyberpunk 2077. Cyberpunk 2077 was a game that I did not enjoy at all. I thought it was terrible. But one good thing that came out of it is a character named Misty Olszewski, I believe is how you pronounce it. She's got a, I think, Polish last name that's a little hard to pronounce, but Misty is the girlfriend of a friend of yours in Cyberpunk 2077. Slight spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't played Cyberpunk 2077. Wait, should I say it to the people
Go
who
for
played
it.
Cyberpunk? Should I just say it?
We always put the spoiler in the beginning, so they know what they got into.
One of your best friends dies, and his girlfriend sort of becomes your friend over the course of the story. She like talks to you outside of his like garage house thing that he was living in, and like tells you to take his motorcycle and all this stuff. And the reason I love Misty so much, other than the fact that she just looks fucking awesome, like her character model looks amazing, is that a lot of the stuff that she talks about and a lot of the stuff that sort of her business represents, I think personally touches on some of the like larger themes of cyberpunk as a genre. Because to me, the cool thing about cyberpunk, again, as a genre, not as a game, has always been like how much metal and machinery can you replace yourself with before you're no longer a human. And Misty is somebody who's very much interested in like the afterlife and like what it actually means to be a human and stuff. Jackie, your friend, I don't think he was interested in it as much. He seemed like he was just interested in committing crimes, and who can blame him, honestly? But moreover, her friend Victor, who is like the main like Ripper Doc in the game, I think the combination of her and Victor really make like a lot of the themes of cyberpunk really come into like clear focus. So that's my submission to the class is Misty Olszewski from Cyberpunk 2077.
I love it. My first instinct is to be like, that's such a freaking I'm a good guy, vulnerable, like, oh, your boyfriend.
This is
that you
why I
loved,
didn't even want to bring it up.
like just died, and you're like, hey baby, what's up? You know, like my first instinct was to say that, but then I was like, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't really want her to go through that because you're just gonna die too, as V, but just pretending that doesn't happen. I do love Misty. I think it's really interesting that like in this futuristic city with all this technology, she's like this pagan girl who still does tarot cards and has a esoteric shop in the middle of this city. It's super cool. I really like that. And also she is pretty hot, but you know, knowing her story, I'm just kind of like kind of moving on her when she's at her most vulnerable. That's some yellow flag behavior.
maybe wait a little bit on that, V. Like
Yeah.
maybe just, you know, give it some time.
I do love everything she has to say to you. Like the tarot card side mission is a little bit tedious, just scanning like what is it, 22 or 20 things across the city. But when she
See,
reads
but
you your
that's,
tarot cards, it's a really nice little touch in there.
I guess that's more, to me at least, like that highlights more how mid the game was than she is as a character.
Yeah.
But that's what Jackie and Misty, and honestly their relationship, like, you know, while he's still alive, those are like two of the only things I enjoyed about Cyberpunk. And I don't mean to just like shit on the game that obviously like some people in this room love, but like to me, Misty and Jackie and like their relationship was like, I was like, oh, maybe this game is gonna be amazing. And then Keanu Reeves spoke for the first time, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be
Okay, I will
terrible.
give you that though. I will give you that. Every time I play that, I'm like, this is Keanu Reeves, the great actor. Like, it sounds like he's never acted ever before in his life. He reads things so stagnantly. I don't know. I will
See,
give you that one for sure.
I think that's how he always talks. I think you're just used to like seeing him act, and it feels different when it's not coming out of his physical body. Like I
I
think
don't
he
know.
sounds the same old. Like I love Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything negative about him. But I think that's how he always talks.
Maybe you're right. The only thing I can think of that's slightly different is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. The original one, I tried to get through the atrocity that is the like sequel that they just released a couple years ago. I couldn't do it. The original is amazing though. I love that movie. San Dimas. Meeny, meeny, meeny.
Well, as to Misty, like I haven't ever wanted to romance Misty, but I do wish they would have let you like explore the friendship with her much more, like giving her more to do. Because Misty and V could absolutely be best friends. Like again, to go back to Liara and Shepard, but that's what they could be like if they would just let you like explore that relationship a little bit more, not necessarily to go into a romance with a sex scene and all that, but to just go into a deep, meaningful friendship for somebody that's always going to be there for you. Like I could see that for Misty. I would like that for Misty in that game.
Yeah, this brings me back to my point forever, which is like we don't always need romance, which I know is hilarious because this podcast is all about romance. But like I also will take best friends. Like just any kind of human connection in a video game makes it feel more real because that's literally real life, you know? Like
Mhm.
we are social animals. So like I want to see it. I need to see it. And we need more of that. And that's what I like about Misty. I was thinking about as you're talking. It's like she's the only one that like sees both Johnny and V as two separate people and like is so compassionate towards them about that. Everyone else is either like using V as a merc or like Victor cares about V but doesn't give a shit about Johnny, you know, who I mean, debatable if he's like a real person or not, but it seems like he is. Like it is his soul maybe trapped there, who knows. But Misty's like the only one who really is super compassionate about that. So I really like her.
It definitely is walking the fine line between who do I wish was romanceable and who do I just wish got more dialogue options in the game. It could be it, honestly.
Agreed on both points, yeah. I will always make Mama Wells like her. I will never like every time at the funeral. I'm like, no, you gotta be nice to her. She could have been your daughter-in-law. You don't know.
I think these are it's funny that I think our patrons kind of follow the trend a little bit because when we were talking about Mass Effect, everybody was like, I'm gonna bring a Mass Effect character. We switched to Cyberpunk, and the other two patrons that I have is they're Cyberpunk, so it should be interesting for sure. And then I've got to do something really shitty. Just a second. Hi, yes, it's okay. I heard the bell. You can leave it at the door. We're good to go.
We also have to take a mid break at some point. But we can always post-production that. I don't really care.
People, patreon.com/2girls1ship. Go check it out. Support the stuff that you listen to.
Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna be thanking you guys. So
Oh, no, that was it. Honestly, my pizza's here and they won't leave unless you answer the door. And so he called me and was like, "Hey, I need you to come answer the door." And I was like, "No, we're fine. I can't do it right now." So my pizza's sitting on my front porch. Hopefully somebody
put the
will.
pizza down and leave.
There are two other people in this house.
I mean, contactless here, we can't even get them to ring the freaking doorbell. There, they won't leave it without talking to you.
Yeah.
Portland, man, they're just weird.
Okay. Let us go into a little bit of a mid-break because we do have some very important people to thank. All right. First, start off with thanking our lovely, lovely patrons. You guys are absolutely amazing. So let's just go straight down the list. Captain Shenko, Apollo, Toasty, The Cups, Psych, Meiji Moo, and Stoned Miss Theos. Seriously, The list keeps getting longer and longer and longer, and my heart just keeps growing and growing and growing. I feel like the Grinch up in here, growing 3 times.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas in the end of May. That works. I like giving gifts all year round. But let's see. So the 2 people that couldn't make it here tonight shared their thoughts through Discord to me, which is a really great way to do this, by the way. If you ever have thoughts that you want to share, especially the Patreon tiers do allow for some members to send in thoughts. And we do put out every month at the beginning who we will be covering that month. So if you ever want to add thoughts on a character, shoot me a DM. And I can read them out on the show. So the first one I will read out is from Shanko. Shanko couldn't make it tonight, but she sends in her thoughts. I'm sad to miss another patron chat, but I am here in spirit. The character I wish was romanceable in a video game is Adam Smasher. Just kidding. You'll never know. Actually, no, it isn't. But he is from Cyberpunk. My dream lover is breathtaking. If CD Projekt Red could have figured out a story where Johnny Silverhand became a romance option, that is hands down who I would have romanced. I watched a video of a mod called The Lover's Ending, where they modded Johnny to be a romanceable, and I love the concept. Would it fall under the star-crossed lovers trope fee? The runners-up would have to be Armando Bailey or the pansexual Jack romance we all deserved in Mass Effect. And Takamura and Jackie Wells from Cyberpunk. Also, potentially and secretly, Adam Smasher. I will not be elaborating further. Okay, you guys had some reactions.
Adam Smasher is just a big no, first of all. He's like
He's a robot. at
fully
this point.
cyborg.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not the fun, like, sex robot kind. So, no, thank you. That's just. His name's Adam Smasher for a reason.
He's the one
So
that
that-
has absolutely no face and it's just like a red thing in the middle of it.
He's the guy who
creepy.
absolutely punches the shit out of you when you're in that hotel, which took me a second to realize that that's who they were talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, he's Johnny Silverhand's old nemesis, basically. And
also,
like,
I was gonna say that he exhibits a lot of signs of something called cyberpsychosis, which in the Cyberpunk Red tabletop game is like, I don't know if it's in 2077, but it's like basically like you went too far with your implants. You put too much, too many chips in your brain, and now you just like are not even really human anymore. And that's some, it's pretty dark, obviously, but like in terms of really get into the cyberpunk like ethos, like that's pretty badass.
Yeah, that happened to one of my characters on a Cyberpunk run. She unfortunately got chips forcibly installed in her, and it sent her into psychosis. Yeah. Played some really dark versions of this game. But that is not what this podcast is about. It's about happy shit. Let's see. So what Toasty wrote in kind of plays into what I want to talk about and who I want to talk about. So V, do you want to go first, or do you want me to read Toasty and then go into mine?
no, you can go first.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Okay. Oh, there we go. So Toasty said, I was going to say Evelyn from Cyberpunk. And I was like, okay, I can work with that. Do you have a reason?
Pretty short.
Yeah.
romance.
Well, but here's the thing, is that he was like, because she's really determined and fearless, And because I think it could have been a cool possibility for a poly relationship if they had made her romanceable with both V and Judy. And I was like, yeah, all right, I could see that. Especially because Judy's still pretty torn about, it's like, I love Evelyn. I want to be with Evelyn, and the whole mission to go and try and save her. I think that maybe if that had been an option to say, like, I understand this attraction, why don't we just make a throuple out of this? And it could have worked. And maybe things wouldn't have ended the way that they did. Because somebody else would have been home with Evelyn while Judy was out getting bread.
I would hope that if you could romance her that way, that the quest line would be vastly different, so that wouldn't have even happened to her.
Absolutely.
That would be ideal, but it's Night City, so.
I also just realized that I don't know if I would like it if you don't romance somebody, they die. Oh, but they do that to Miranda, so never mind.
Only your love can save them.
Well, Miranda lives if you're a friend, because she lives in my playthrough.
But not a romance. No, sorry, not a romanced Miranda.
Oh, Miranda dies if you romance her?
So, sort of. Okay, so if you romance Miranda in 2 and then don't rekindle in 3, she will die.
Oh,
I thought
okay.
the only way she died in 3 is if you don't warn her about what's his face.
Nope.
There's a couple steps.
If you miss one of any of them. Yeah, missing one of any of those tasks will get her killed.
Yeah, but I really wanted her to die.
Which doesn't make any sense to me, since she's like half the face of the franchise, give or take.
Because they were pushing you to romance Leora in 3.
I mean, that was incredibly heavy-handed of them to do the entire time, but your point, yeah.
Yeah. At least that's my
point that
theory on it.
Is your point that they should have poly romances in games? Because I definitely am behind that.
Yes, 100%.
The thing that you wanted to talk about, yeah. That's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a representation that we haven't really seen yet in video games, and it's not a brand new phase or a new fad people are going through. No, not at all. We have come really. In Cyberpunk, it could have been a really easy way to go through things. And especially, I think, with Carrie being canonically bisexual, but then they switched him to being gay only in it. I was like, that's a character that you could have made that work with.
I'll take it even a step further and say that not only is it kind of redonkulous that we don't get a poly relationship option in Cyberpunk, in the world of Cyberpunk as I know it, the fact that anyone is monogamous is kind of ridiculous and makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because it's just like anywhere you look, there's just nuclear waste. There are cyber psycho people tearing each other apart in the streets, and there's just drugs galore, and everyone is miserable. Who's got time to go date somebody?
You want to go steady and have a solo relationship? Because I think that's the best way to survive Night City. Yeah, no, it does. I don't think it would work out that way.
They portray everyone monogamously in that game, though. If you're not a prostitute whose job is to sleep with multiple people, then you're just sleeping with one person. Even Johnny Silverhands is only shown with one person, and he's supposed to be this huge rocker party animal, and you're just like, you're telling me he's in love with one person, and he hates everything? Okay. I mean, the romantic part of me is super cute. Oh my gosh, let's romance you. But on the other hand, it doesn't seem very realistic for his character. I don't know.
Well, he was dating all 9 years ago, right?
Mhm.
From like now, because that was 2013, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Time is weird.
In the
No.
game.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's like dead, so he's mine now. If they can split us up brain wise, I would give it a go. Why not?
No, but I will say though, and I feel like we've like talked about this like on this show before, but like just the fact that there's so little sexuality options and so little in terms of like non-binary representation in games and stuff, like at this point just seems so like, I don't know, just cowardly, I guess, of game developers to not just be like, hey, there are people out there that like exist in poly relationships, like should we put that in our game? And then the developers are just like, no, never. The
I don't know.
stocks would tank.
Hopefully it gets to be that way. Like we do have some major upcoming releases from a company that we know can do romances quite well. And hopefully we get to see a little bit more of that representation that we're looking for.
If I may say, cowardly seems a little strong, I would say. Just saying.
I meant every word, Psych. I meant every word.
Fair enough.
To go back to Evelyn, would Judy be okay with that as we know her? Because I don't know if Judy would be down with that. Judy's like a hopeless romantic kind of person.
Mhm.
I don't know that she would be down with that relationship, even if we were.
Yeah, because she dated Maiko, and you can see emails between the two of them. Judy was kind of jealous when Maiko was, doing her job. And I'm not faulting Judy for that. Like, it is probably really hard to date a successful sex worker, and feel like you have their whole heart in this crazy world. Because Judy is so, like, dependent. Like, the way she falls in love is so quick and stuff. So, I don't know. Maybe the way she always looked at Evelyn, I feel like is less romantically and more like kind of obsessive. It's not like a healthy attachment. So, I mean, I think it'd be cute to have a throuple. I just don't know if they would be the throuple I would want to start throuples with in video games. I don't know.
Okay. All right. I think we are on to you, V.
I'm actually surprised that no one has mentioned this character. To be fair, this whole game that this character is in does not have great romances, and that is Fallout 4, Nick motherfucking Valentine. If that man slash synth was romanceable, I would be married to him. I love him so much. I actually was doing some research on this because I was like, I cannot be the only one that is upset that Nick Valentine was not romanceable. And to be fair, like I said, Fallout 4 is not great with romance. You basically just flirt with them, do like a pseudo loyalty mission, and then every time you sleep in a bed with them as your companion, they'll like reference that you guys slept together. And that's the romance, like that's it. And there is a mod that you can download to kind of make a Nick Valentine romance, but it's not a real romance. I actually found a change.org freaking like petition to get Bethesda to make him an actual romance. And unfortunately, there were only 22 signatures on it. And I was like, this is depressing because I would have signed that if I knew. It's already closed. It's been closed for like 6 years. Oh, it's so frustrating to me. But this change.org petition that I found, they wrote that despite being one of your possible travel buddies, despite the fact that he exchanges flirty banter with your playable character, despite the fact that he comes across as a kind and generous individual, he is not romanceable. He claims he wants something that fully belongs to him, not some remnant of the human Nick Valentine's past. Because if you don't know, Nick Valentine is a synthetic, meaning like he's an android basically. And they downloaded an actual human's personality onto him. So, and he remembers all of the humans' memories, but he's like his own thing, right? And they said, and I agree, that a romance would have helped flesh out his character and, you know, create a nice solid arc of giving him something that actually is his. And I agree. And I'm sad. To this day I'm sad. I love Nick Valentine. He's so cute. But that being said, in Fallout 4, because I couldn't romance Nick, I had to romance Hancock. That was the only obvious choice. Finn, my rant is over.
I know of at least one listener who also fully agrees with you that Nick is their top choice for a person they wish was romanceable.
Yeah, my best friend Eileen. That is something we share in common as well. One of the many reasons she's my best friend is because she also wants to romance Nick Valentine.
The insanity that is my life. I'm sorry. I
Did
just
your pizza
asked.
get stolen?
No,
You okay,
pizza's
Jen?
See, there was a reason that my brain told me don't start drinking tonight. I just asked if I'm able to work from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. So we'll see how that goes.
Like tonight?
Yeah,
Like in like how many hours away for you?
in like 5 hours. Yeah, sure. Fuck it, we'll do it live. No, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Did you say, is that like double time or?
Part of it would probably become overtime. I don't know. We'll see. I need to process that, and not during a live stream on my podcast. I text back possibly, and I'm gonna leave it there until I'm done with this, because right now y'all are my priority. And I have picked up y'all. I've been hanging out too much with you and Teacup and Toasty, because y'all is in my head now, and it is not my word, but it's in there now.
I literally
not
live.
sorry.
I was like, I literally live in the South and haven't picked that up yet somehow.
I grew up.
It's
I've
a
lived in
really
the South my
great
whole
gender
life, and I don't get it.
neutral. It's a really
Is
great
Florida
gender neutral
really
term.
the South?
Is Oklahoma really the South?
Couldn't hear you
Yeah,
over the sound of the cows mooing.
the tornadoes whirling. Yeah, where I'm at in Florida is definitely the South. It is
Yeah, it's-
Panhandle.
Yeah, it's like 15 miles from the Gulf of Mexico, so it is the
Mhm.
South.
I'm literally the last stop on the highway before Alabama. So banjos, I can hear them at all hours of the day.
And I live off that exact same stop as well. So yeah.
Also, the sheer amount of insects that are larger than they should be should tell me that I am in the South. I dislike it. I dislike it. But I do enjoy the frogs, and I saw a snake yesterday, and that was very exciting. Because where I grew up,
Ooh.
there's lots of snakes, but I just never really. I grew up in Southern California, so I could hear the snakes, but I could not see them. Here, you can see them, but not hear them, which is kind of scarier.
Mm-mm.
They don't warn you. This was a harmless water snake that I saw, but it was super cute. I love snakes.
I love snakes too. Hopefully, Shanko will be able to join next month and we can hang out with Lucifer again, because that was awesome.
I am definitely in Lucifer's fan club. He's a beautiful boy.
Yes.
Speaking of water snakes, wait, are we still in the mid break? Do I need to like wait to talk about this character?
No, mid break's over. Yeah.
So even though I love Fallout, I, believe it or not, have never played Fallout 4.
Mm.
Are synths like androids
Yeah.
or like
Yeah. They make
Okay.
them. The Institute makes them. And Nick was one of the first two synthetic humans, like synths, as they're called.
okay, yeah. So prior to this,
Which is
I
why
think
he looks the way he does, because he was like one of the first two. Since at the time you're playing the game, can either look just like robots and are terrifying, or can look just like people and you don't know that they're synths. And that's like the fear of everyone is like, oh, they stole my kid and replaced him with a synth or something. Because I guess, in Fallout Land, they have the resources to just steal random people and replace them with synthetic humans. Like they can just make
Right.
them at will, apparently. But, they can't
Okay.
have infrastructure or anything.
Reading about this character makes me want to play Fallout 4 really bad, which I have it downloaded. I just haven't played it. And you know what else too is because I was reading about Sykes' character. What is her name? Lillian?
Lilith.
I was reading about the class that she is, which is Siren, and just like got sucked into this Borderlands wiki rabbit hole to where now I'm like, do I want to play the Borderlands series or am I just interested in the lore? Like,
Is very heavily Greek like themed, but yeah, play it. That's what I'm gonna say.
That's what I was gonna say about like Nick's missions in Fallout 4 are my favorite part. Have you played Detroit Become Human? Because if you like Hank, yeah, you're right. We've talked about this. Hank and Connor's whole part of the game. That's like going on because Nick's a detective, so you get to go solve little crimes and stuff with him.
does he
And
flip a quarter between his fingers to make him
no, but he
detect better?
smokes a cigarette. And when you're wandering around the wasteland in the dark and you see that light up his half missing synth face, I'm just like, please love me. I love you so much. You're so freaking cool. I love him. Yeah, it's great. That's the best part of the game for me is like solving his little case. I love you. He has like a little detective agency, Valentine Detective Agency, and I'm just like, this is what I want. I want like detective stuff. This is so fun. I love it.
Am I the only one that hasn't played Fallout? I think I am.
No, I have not. I respect the hell out of Bethesda and what they do, but my completionist brain cannot handle the sheer amount of stuff to do. It overwhelms me, and I go, okay, I can't do it. Bye.
Yeah, that's the only reason I can play is because I am not a completionist. But I do end up getting lost in all the side missions and not ever finishing the main story. So I have to say, I've never actually finished the main story of Fallout 4 because there's like hundreds of hours of side quest stuff to do. And that's what I just do. I just do that. I know how it ends because my husband's finished it and I watched him, but I never finish it. I'll usually get right up to the last mission and be like, all right, now I'm going to go do more stuff. I don't want to finish the game quite yet, you know?
I'm
Yeah.
going to play it. I just haven't yet.
I've watched people play it.
I think okay, so I have to speak up for the Fallout fandom right now for like just the people who haven't played it. Don't start with Fallout 4. Start with New Vegas because New Vegas is not only I would assume because I haven't played all of them, I would assume the best in the Fallout series. It is just one of the best RPGs ever made.
See, and
Out of
I've
all
heard
of them.
that the Fallout community has so much conflict within it about like which game is the best one to play and all this stuff. And I'm just like, you know what? I think the Pip-Boy looks
Wait,
cool.
nerds fighting? No
I
way.
know. Even within like our like the own Discord or the Discord server, it's like, oh, start with 76. No, start with New Vegas. No, start with 4. And it's just like, I played that one vault game on your cell phone where you had to like build out your place, and I thought that was cute, but that's about all my Fallout is probably gonna get to. We shall
My
see.
wife
Well,
loves that mobile. Like she will sink hours into it, and I'm just like, why?
it's cute.
Because it's
It's not
fun.
for me because I need if I'm playing a game, I want like a game. I'm not a mobile gamer because it's too I need to sync time. That's why I don't end up playing games often because I play it for a long span of time at once and then I go a week or two and that's just how I have to play like cuz I don't get a lot of time, but
Anytime I play a mobile game, I just end up being like, this is why I bought the Switch. Is so that when
yes.
I'm at the doctor's office and I'm bored as shit, I can start playing Zelda and not
Yeah.
some Gotcha
like puzzle.
mobile game.
Yeah. Yeah. No shade to mobile game developers because they're clearly successful. They're just not my thing. But I will say with Fallout, I have played Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and Fallout 4. I've watched my husband play Fallout 76. I have to say that one to me seems like the weakest link. But I'm also not an MMO person, and at Fallout's kind of world really doesn't lend itself to an MMO in my opinion. So I will say it's fun, but it's not my jam. Fallout New Vegas, it's funny because it's the only one developed by Obsidian, which is so it's got a different feel, even though it's in the Fallout universe, because it's not developed. It's published by Bethesda, but not developed by Bethesda. So it kind of feels a little bit different. But I love until I do love Fallout 4 because I do love making the like settlements. Like you can actually build settlements and like power them with electricity and build them out of wood or steel or whatever. It's really fun to do that. You can't do that in any of the other games, maybe in 76. But Fallout 3 for me was such a good game. It's maybe too old now. Maybe the graphics aren't good anymore. I don't know. But like I loved that game because I still remember that at the very end when if you choose this path and decide to purify all the water and use the big robot thing to like I can't remember what he was, something prime, I think. And you're just following him and this amazing music is playing and I was just like this little kid like, "Oh my god, this
His
is
name is
so
Liberty
cool."
Prime,
Liberty Prime. Yeah,
bringing
it
democracy
was
to all the nation.
and freaking Liam Neeson voices your dad in that game. Like that was the best part for me. I loved that game. Fallout 3 is great because the each game is taking place in a different area of America. Fallout 3 is in Maryland. Is it in Maryland?
I think
And
it's supposed
Fallout
to take
4,
place in like the DC area, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, the DC area. And Fallout 4 is Boston area. And Fallout New Vegas is obviously like Southern California and Vegas. I will say that until I played Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3 was my favorite, but I think Fallout New Vegas is because they have the new California Republic and all the different like groups are so good, really fleshed out well.
I
No
think
romance though.
as all
You
of
can't
us
have sex with
as
a robot.
that's a big minus in my opinion. But
Yeah, yeah.
as all all of us are either fans of Dragon Age, Mass Effect, these types of RPGs where we like to feel like our choices matter. I think one of the prime examples of that to me is Fallout New Vegas for sure. Like every choice that you make actually feels like it does things in the game. So
And I think it is less big than Fallout 4. So if you get overwhelmed, try New Vegas.
Well, Fallout 4 is free, so that's a plus.
That is a plus. It's really good. Like Fallout 4 is really, really, really good too. So you can't go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, maybe eventually we'll get there, or I will get there. But I'm also having a lot of fun playing Inquisition, and I already have my next hero, Hawk, and Herald planned out. And I also have a Broshep run that I still haven't pushed past Mass Effect 1. And I also have to play The Last of Us, and I have to finish the Cyberpunk run. And there's a lot. And so if you're telling me, oh hey, the romances in Fallout 4 aren't really gen breakdown scenes, I don't know if it's gonna hit high on my priority list.
I think in that case you should just describe what you imagine would happen in a gen breakdown of those scenes.
I was just thinking about that with Hancock. I was like, he's a ghoul. How would that look like?
I have thought. I've already kind of thought about that one, actually. Like I said, I've watched people play Fallout, so, but I think that that's actually a pretty good place to end the show for the night, because we've definitely talked about a lot of characters that we wish were romanceable. I wish that there was more poly representation or more asexual representation. I think that one's really important, where you do get that a romantic bond that is more than just friendship bond, but a little bit more than friendship, and you still get the romance about it. Because contrary to popular belief, my whole world is not sex. I do, in fact, enjoy relationships that don't necessarily involve it.
I'm so sorry. Can I interject one thing? The whole
No,
time
fuck
that
off.
Apollo was the whole time that Apollo was talking about Aloy, I was just like, what if Aloy is asexual? What if she doesn't want anybody?
That just means you don't want to have sex, not that you're not in love. They could show love. And that is something
Aromantic
we
is
haven't
also a
really
thing.
done. Yeah. I don't want her to be that though. I want her, she's so alone. That's the whole story arc for her so far, it seems like, because it's not finished, but it starts off with her always doing everything by herself, trying to keep that going, and then finding out in the second game like she actually does need help, and then she starts to gently rely on people, and towards the end she's like really relying on people, and that's good for her. We shouldn't be alone.
Agreed. We shouldn't be alone. So let's go around the room of our friends, and they can let us know where people can reach out to them if they need somebody to talk to about cool Mass Effect stuff, like the RPG games, or if they want to talk Dragon Age, or if they want to talk Horizon. Or Apollo just kind of mishmashes everything together. He plays all the games.
Except Fallout.
Except Fallout. You're right. Psych, I believe you're first.
Okay, I've got 3 things to plug here. First is I'm co-host with Captain Chenko on the Mass Effect, or not Mass Effect, on the MCU Lorecast. I'll get to the other one in a second. We're still working on it. As everyone can hear, Shenko's not here for reasons, and that's kind of slowed us down on stuff. But we're working on it on the burner. Then I'm a player on the Mass Effect Blue Shift tabletop RPG that has just jumped over to the Robots Radio Network as well. We have an episode 0 up on Spotify and Stitcher. And I hear we're really funny. Is what everyone says. And then for me personally, if you are in the greater OKC metro area, you can look up Norman Family Theater, and we have a production of Much Ado About Nothing, starring yours truly and a wonderful cast of other actors. So if you want to catch some live theater, coming out of the pandemic here, now's a good time to do it and support your community theaters.
When you posted about that, I was so happy for you. I'm like, yes, because you got one of the main leads, and I'm like, psych, so happy.
Thank you.
And then,
I
of
miss the
course,
theater. I would love to go. If it wasn't so far away, I would totally go.
Apollo, you're up next.
Okay, well, I'm Apollo on the Discord. I don't really have anything to plug. I'm lucky in that I don't have to get up before I feel like getting up until August, as of yesterday, so that's nice. Get to go see Jimmy Buffett in Orange Beach next week, and then Joan Jett and Motley Crue and Poison and Def Leppard in Orlando in 2 more weeks. So got a little fun stuff coming around.
Now that's a lineup. Holy crap.
It got canceled. This is rescheduled. It was scheduled when COVID hit 2 years ago. Everything shut down. So finally making it back.
Sorry, Motley Crue started playing in my head, and I was like, no, please, Dr. Feelgood, get out. I cannot have you in there all night. Shelby. Miss Sheikah.
Yeah, so I am the co-host of the Dragon Age Lorecast and the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. So if you're interested in either of those franchises, definitely check out our shows. And we also have a Discord server. It's called the Cups Podcasting. You can find the links in our podcast descriptions. So come hang out with us over there or on the Robots server. Either one, we're on both places.
And then, am I allowed to plug the very special thing that happened on Thursday?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Meiji Moves.
My name is Meiji Moose. Check me out wherever you watch content and stuff. I also started doing a thing called the Storm Sorcerer podcast, so you can check that out like wherever you do podcasts, or you can check it out on YouTube and whatnot. You should also, let me just tell you guys, you should go to weareplannedparenthoodaction.org and start raising funds to defend Roe v. Wade. They're trying to take away your rights, people. Go check it out. Donate now.
Send me links. We can put stuff in the show notes and the descriptions and everything like that if you have stuff that you want to sponsor, especially when it comes to reproductive rights. Fuck yeah. Okay, so I do have a little bit of extra plugging to do tonight, mainly because 5 shows in 3 days. I'd love to let people know what's going on. San's cat, because she makes it difficult. Okay, so yesterday night, last night. Words are hard. Last night, I guest starred on the Dragon Age Lorecast talking about one of my absolute favorite characters of Zevran. We talked about the spicy little elf who stole his way into my heart and holds a very special place. So when that episode comes out, probably in a couple of weeks, I will be on that and you can hear all my hot takes and juicy little tidbits. And Maya tale. Let's see, today I was on the Holocron Histories, a podcast discussing the differences between the legacy and the new canon of Star Wars, hosted by Teacup and Ben of Temeria. I was on their Patreon episode alongside my Darth Toasty. Thank you so much for being my, not my master in that episode, Beastie. And we talked about, so they talk about the canon versus the legends. So for the first Patreon episode, we decided to talk fan theories. So you get to hear me go on and on about Darth Jar Jar. So come take a listen. And I think I officially broke Psych on that one. He is not happy with me. Double flip off. Oh, I love it. Those were fingers. I saw middle fingers. What else? So we have that today. Those were the first 3. Then on Monday, as always, I am on the Witcher Lorecast Patreon episode where we haven't decided what we're talking about yet, and following that up with the Mass Effect Lorecast Patreon episode where we still have not decided what we're going to talk about yet. So who the fuck knows what those ones will be about, but it should be fun as always. And of course, if you like to hear me rambling and swearing and saying shit when I meant to say Sith, you can please be sure to leave us a review on iTunes or give us a rating on Spotify and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find me in our 2 Girls 1 Ship chat on the Robots Radio Discord channel or on our own personal server or on the Teacup server. I am Jenna Sith on that one because I love changing my name in every Discord I am a part of because it gives me a unique identity. Come give us a follow on all the social medias. I think we're most active on Twitter. It's where I'm having a lot of fun. And you can also follow us on Patreon at patreon.com/2girls1ship. Links to those are in the description.
You guys should on the Mass Effect Lorecast talk about what you want BioWare Gear Store to make a plushie next. Because it released the Blasto plushie, or that's coming out in June.
Looks so cute. I want
He
one.
looks so cute. So you guys should talk about
Or I want
That'd be funny.
BioWare to,
Um,
to not release anything for a month so I can stop spending money. Stop. Just
Okay,
take
yeah.
a break. Take a break.
That's real.
Take
my
a break.
tally statue finally
BioWare, my-
shipped. Can't
So
I'm
did
in so
mine.
much credit card debt. Stop it, please.
You know what they freaking need to do? They need to release another Gearus statue. I don't want a canvas print. My walls are full of art. I need a statue. BioWare Gear Store, listen to me. I've been waiting. I don't want a silver one either. I'm not going to take the time to paint it. I want it already painted. Please, please. We all want Gearus. I don't want Tim. I want Gearus. So they need to do that.
I
I
want a
have Liara,
Liara
and now I have-
statue. I need Liara.
I have Liara. It's right there. Okay. Yeah. Wait. What am I saying?
Your outro.
Yeah. I'm on the Robots Radio Discord as well, and on our Two Girls One Ship Discord server now, where we can nerd out on all our favorite CGI significant others. Be sure to check out our live stream on Twitch and YouTube, Fridays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time. And our podcast episodes release on Mondays because you need at least one good thing on a Monday.
Thanks for listening. And remember,
Beauty is in the eye of the controller. Bam, 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 bam.
and may the force be with you, and stay safe on the path. Keela Salai, Shepherd. Thinking all of them all at once.
Live
all
long
the
and
out.
prosper.
By Grathnor's hammer you shall be avenged.
That's one of my favorite movies of all time. I love it so much.
Oh my god, girl, that's so fetch.
So fetch. Stop trying to make fetch happen.
Somebody else pick up the line. Keep
Okay.
going.
Yeah.
Episode's over.
Trying to
We can
think
fuck
of
around
something
now.
in Cyberpunk. I can't think of anything. I'm going blank.
What do they say in Cyberpunk?
Why don't you
What's the
jack
insult that
in?
They call
Choom.
everybody. Yeah,
Choom.
there we go.
Choom.
My favorite
Don't be a
thing is
chum.
just the fact that they call money eddies. I think that's
Eddies.
the coolest fucking like fantasy slang of all time.
Was that from
Slip
the
'em a couple
card game?
eddies.
Or is that from the video game? Like where
I
all the
think-
slang, because they did great slang in that game. That is one thing they did a very good job on.
If I'm not mistaken, the actual eddies, like that particular piece of slang, came from Neuromancer. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong about that.
I don't know what that is.
Wasn't
Neuromancer
eddies
is like
because-
it's like a book that a lot of cyberpunk as a genre was
Mm.
kind of influenced by.
I thought there was a president who was named Edward and that they put them on the money and then it just shortened to Eddies. I could be 100% pulling that out of my ass though.
That
Hey, Siri?
sounds right.
Why is the money called Eddies in Cyberpunk? Because it's a euro dollar. So they're referred to as e-bucks or eddies, euro, hollows, script. That's what Siri said to me.
Okay, fine. I liked my headcanon better. It was some dude named Eddie. I am getting hungry and feisty and
Your pizza's cold on the porch.
no, that's why I got up when you were talking about Nick. I was like, I brought the headphones so I can still hear, but I ran out because I was like,
No.
my daughter's not
You didn't
answering her
need-
cell phone. Jason's not freaking answering Discord. Like, come on, y'all. My pizza is out on the
Like-
porch getting cold.
You don't need to listen to my rant about Nick. You've heard it already.
Oh, I just meant like if that.
Portland,
Okay.
the pizza's already gone.
Oh, you should ask Sam about his pizza sagas one day while in voice chat. It's a fun story.
Are you there too, Meiji?
Mm-hmm.
In
Yeah?
Portland?
Yeah.
And
No,
Sam's
I live in California.
Wait, what? Jen and you talked at the same time, so I didn't hear either of you.
I live in California, but I've spent a pretty significant amount of time in Oregon. So, I mean,
Me
I feel
too.
like I'm allowed to shit on it because of that fact.
Yeah, I grew up going there because my grandma lived there. I wish I could. I miss California a lot, just because that's where I'm from. So I have all the family and friends. I'm so lonely.
You guys should all get away from the snakes and move to California.
I don't mind the snakes. I just mind the humidity and the lack of mountains,
I wasn't
um,
made for California.
bugs. Is it too hot? Is it
I don't know. I've
too
definitely spent
busy?
time there. Like, I've
Too
been to
expensive?
Folsom, I've been to Sacramento, I've been to San Francisco, Oakland, like LA. I've been to so many different
Mhm.
places in California, but I think Portland is too home for me
Mhm.
that I don't see myself ever living anywhere else.
That's fair. I've only left because the military told me to. So
That's a
I mean,
very good reason.
yeah, I was like, the government made me leave my hometown. I mean, I did sign up. It was voluntary at first, and then once I signed it, it was no longer voluntary. But I did end up getting to go to school in Monterey, California, which was such a privilege. That's the best part of California. And then after that, I got stationed in Hawaii, so that was no hardship on my part. Although their cockroaches are bigger than ours here in Florida.
Do they
So,
fly? Because we've got flying cockroaches here.
yeah, they
That
do.
suck.
And they're everywhere. Like, I swear to God, whatever God or no God that you follow or not follow, those cockroaches were sentient, like in a way that bugs, insects should not be. I was walking one time at night from the store to my apartment, and a freaking cockroach, like a huge, like a rad roach. I called them rad roaches, which is from Fallout for those of you who haven't played it. And because they're that big, pretty much. And like it's walking on the sidewalk next to me, and I looked at it and I was like, "Dear Lord, there's a cockroach that looked at me. Like it turned its head and looked at me. And I didn't know they could do that." And I shrieked and I ran. And one time I got bit by a cockroach there. It flew at me and bit my arm. And I flailed so much, I
I
didn't
think
panic.
I don't know if
I
that was a
killed it.
cockroach. I don't know if
No, it
cockroaches can
was.
bite. They can bite in Hawaii because that's not good.
They can bite. Their cockroaches are so bad in Hawaii. They ate my landlord's high school diploma because there were so many in her parents' base or not basement, but like shed. They ate her high school diploma. She's like, I can't prove that I went to high school anymore.
Yeah, that sounds like the worst excuse of all time. Like, did you go to high school? And it's like,
I don't know. She
I
was
did,
cool.
but
She wasn't from
cockroaches ate
Oahu.
my diploma.
She was from Kauai, and like, but still the cockroaches were so like I saw one almost every single day, whether it was outside or in my house. And here, I've only seen two in my house, and they were not big. Like in Hawaii, because they all have what are they called? Like jalousie windows, where like the little glass slats that you can open. They're like glass blinds. All the windows are those windows. Nothing is airtight anywhere on any apartment. And we had a window unit because also no one has air conditioning because they're like, oh, the trade winds. And I'm like, yeah, for 2 weeks every year. What about the other 50 weeks? And there's like this huge gap and these big ass rad roaches and just waltz inside and they're just sitting on your wall like 5 inches long, being offensive just by being there. And I was so scared. Even if they were dead, I couldn't touch them. I was like, I cannot deal with this is a phobia. And my cats didn't do anything. They did nothing. Oh, but they did eat a gecko once because there were geckos all over the place too. Like house geckos all over the place. Yeah. Which was fine. Like I loved living in Hawaii. I didn't like $7 milk, like gallons of milk, because everything had to be shipped in. And that was in, I don't know, 2016 was the last time I was there. So who knows what it's like now. It might be even more expensive, but it was very pretty.
I just love how you like use that story as a way to like throw shade at the people who haven't played Fallout. You're like,
Yeah,
they're
I
rad
did. I did.
roaches. For those of you who haven't played it, that's from Fallout.
I at least know what a rad roach is, and
Yeah.
You
so
should know. Oh,
For
I would
you
tell
It
people
was something
simpletons that
horrible.
haven't played Fallout.
when I was in Hawaii, I would call them rad roaches, and so many people would look at me like, "What is that a word?" I'm like, "Clearly, you have not previewed Fallout. Actually, but there was a lot of people because of the job that I was. We were all nerds, so there were many gamers, and I think I've told the story once before, but because I was in the Navy and like the training department in the Navy is N7. And so when I was first there getting trained, like the guy who was the leading petty officer for the N7 department there, it's like a huge section of the Navy, but like they have, detachments everywhere. And he was the leading petty officer for one of the divisions within N7. And he had a Mass Effect background on his big old government computer. And it was really awesome. I was like, yes, someone else who knows. It was great. Long story short, Hawaii was cool, except for the cockroaches.
I have a science teacher who wants to talk about the stuff that Sam wants to talk about, but he can't figure out how to join the Discord. We've tried. Like, I can't find his name. They try it. The Discord was a little hard to join. It took me a minute to figure out how to join it. But
Is he a scientist?
No, I literally on his phone tried to like do it. Couldn't get it in there. Tried to invite him from my phone, from my computer. I don't know. We gave up.
I think Tom requires a secondary
I'll
note.
explain metaphysics to you, but joining Discord, that's a little outside my
Well,
expertise.
there's multi-layers of to get into the Discord, and he got stuck at one of them. Like, it wouldn't get past one of them.
Yep. So Robots Radio Network, Discord requires your phone number and an email address to be a part of your Discord login. So if you didn't set it up that way, then you might not be able to. It's also how Tom keeps it so that way it's actually a pretty decent community of people. There's like 2,500 people in there, and none of them are dicks. I haven't ran into like any creepers. Okay, there are dicks and there
They
are
get booted.
assholes.
Anymore.
I mean, I was about to say we've all had interchanges with certain individuals.
We've tangled with some
Hey,
waffles.
they let us degenerates in, so obviously it's not that it's not that secure.
We're not
Yeah.
most of the time.
But the people who are truly volatile don't stick around or
Yeah, they
don't get in
kicked
to
out.
begin with.
Mhm.
I would suggest, Apollo, avoiding Discord altogether when it comes to that, because Tom likes to use Zoom links to record his episodes now and not through the Discord. You can always reach out to them at masseffectlorecast@gmail.com and connect directly with the guys.
That's true. I didn't think about telling him just to email him. That
Mhm.
would try that.
That link is not in the description.
Just send them so much Elcor porn. So much Fornax.
Oh my gosh, speaking of video game based porn, something else about Fallout that you guys should look into if you don't know is the freaking Fallout Equestria, which is My Little Pony based in Fallout world porn. It's so weird.
What?
I don't know why it's made. Someone made it, but they did a great job. I didn't read the whole thing, but I've seen some stills. And I'm like, wow, they have a future in cartoon work, I suppose.
The internet was a fucking mistake. Never should have happened.
You say that, but we literally are doing this on the internet. I get paid through the internet because my job is on the internet.
None of it's
For every
worth
bad
it.
thing. No, that's
I
fair.
mean,
Too
none of
high
it's
of a
worth
price
it.
to pay.
For Fallout Equestria, yeah. Plug for Fallout Equestria. If you wrote that, join our Patreon because I just
Wait.
gave you some-
Is Equestria the 50,000 word essay? There's
No, it's
an
like
AO3 fanfic. There's an AO3 fanfic based on Equestria that is literally like 50,000 pages long.
Well, this one's specifically My Little Pony Equestria set in Fallout. So if you're talking
Wait,
about
yeah,
that one,
everything that I'm seeing about it is saying that it's not necessarily smut, or at least that it's
Oh,
not
I saw some
exclusively
smut. This was a long time ago when I first saw it, so maybe it's evolved. Maybe it's, I don't know. What I did see was definitely smut.
Okay, faith in humanity is only slightly crushed then.
Okay.
You had any left?
We are still live on Twitch and YouTube. So I will keep this semi-clean. Oh my god, I love it. Um, I have seen a lot of fan art from various different video games and in various different situations and scenarios. Who do you think has some of the either best or worst out there? Dragon Age or Mass Effect?
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect.
Like,
Have you
probably
seen
the
Liara
most.
or not Tally?
Like, it sets the bar in both directions.
When
It's-
we
Are
were
we just
reading-
talking straight up fan art, or are we talking about like erotic fan art?
Erotic fan art. It's
yeah, when
me
we were
asking the
researching-
question. Come on.
Everything that I've seen of Dragon Age has been fairly tame.
Unfortunately, well, not
I
if you're
don't think
directly
you've
looking
seen the
at it.
right things or the wrong things.
Maybe
I
I'm
don't
just,
know.
I'm just looking in the wrong places.
I think that there are certain characters from each series that overpower or have an over representation versus all the rest of the characters. I'm thinking specifically like Liara and Solus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can
I
you
was
explain
gonna
to
say
me why every picture I see of Cullen, he is covered in way too much hair and looks almost werewolf level?
Gross.
No, unfortunately, I cannot explain that because I do not understand it myself.
I don't know, but I'm gonna need you guys to keep this a solid spoiler-free zone for Dragon Age Inquisition because I still haven't finished it.
Okay.
Please.
Hands off then.
No worries.
Okay. I'm just gonna say real fast that when we had to research for the Tally episode, and I was trying to find pictures to post for our social media posts, all of the fan art is very weird for her. Like, I don't know. Some of it's really cute, but overwhelmingly, the majority of it was like her overly sexualized. And I couldn't help but wonder if that was because she's so covered up normally that that was just the direction everyone wanted to go. But it made me a little uncomfy because some of it was like, oh, that's not Tally. That's not who Tally is. Like, it was kind of gross. So,
I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
know.
lie,
Also, I
dude,
found out
like-
what
Go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say. I also I did a stupid thing and searched for Tally fan art on DeviantArt.
Oh, yeah.
And that was my mistake. And I learned what vor is because of that, and I didn't want to. I can say that for certain. I did not want to know what that was, and I lost a little bit of innocence that day.
I really, yeah, God. No, I was just gonna say though, like I genuinely wonder sometimes how many people that potentially could have been into Mass Effect have been like dissuaded because of some of the shit that they've seen online. Because like I get it, like we all love the romances and like we all love, you know, the characters and stuff, but like the absolute unending horniness of BioWare fans is like sometimes just like, guys, relax. Like this
Like,
game is
guys.
about more than like banging aliens, and I don't know how to express that to new fans.
Like, guys, put it back in your
Yeah.
pants. It's okay.
Yeah. There's like even like on AO3, like Jen was saying, if for those of you who don't know, that's Archive of Our Own, a very popular fan fiction site. And there's a lot of just like what they call, at least back in my day, what they called lemons, which are just one shot like stories focused on a sex scene. Like that is the point of the story. And my God, there are so many about Garrus. It's terrifying. And there's an Etsy shop. There is an Etsy shop that sells a Garrus dildo called the Archangel.
Mm-hmm.
And it is supposedly his tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I'm just like,
Oh, then,
guys,
honey, you haven't seen all the versions yet because unfortunately, I have not bought the Garrus thing, but I have bought other Garrus related items off of Etsy, so I get them.
that's why I got
Psych
it, 'cause
your
I got a
face right
cute little
now.
Pin.
Oh yeah,
I got a coffee cup and a pin, and
I
then
got
Etsy's
my
like, "Would you like
pillow
this
off
dildo?"
of there, and so it's like, come on, no, I don't need.
Somehow though, somehow that's less offensive to me than just like legions of animated porn. Like, because at least with the dildo, it's just like, okay, if you're into this, then just like, here it is. You buy that, you're good, right?
Did anybody
And then
else's
some-
brain
but
just go to
like,
Legion porn? That's where mine went when you said legions of porn.
That's fair. I walked right into that one.
You built the door for that one. Just
See, I see some of that stuff though, and it's like you said, like I wonder, like how do you play these games and then your mind go to this? Like, what is going on in that brain of yours that you play a game and let somebody like Tali is the way she is in that game, and then you go to let's just make her a whore. Like, no, what is wrong with your brain?
Like I
Humans
said,
are
like
so
I really
fascinating.
don't think there's anything like particularly wrong with it. Like obviously there's a place for that. It just I think when that becomes the majority of the like art and like I don't know. It just to me it's a little bit off-putting when that seems to be like the majority of the fandom.
I
Which
just always
maybe it's
wonder
not. I don't know.
what the writers feel like when they're like whoever wrote Tally, for instance, it's just like my precious baby, and then they go online and they see that and they're just like, God damn people, why do you do this every time? You know, like I feel like that would be so sad, or maybe they're okay with it. I don't know. I don't think they would be. I wouldn't be. Like if I were a writer and I have this image of who the character is and I've crafted this character with all my friends at work. Hopefully they're all friends at work. And like, you know, then you release it into the wild and everyone's like, yeah, porn. You're like, oh God. Okay.
Okay. I am hungry.
I am sleepy. Nice
Oh.
to meet you.
Dork.
I
I love you. But dork.
love you.
Love you.
It's my middle name.
Okay.
Well, shoot, I guess we're all gonna see each other on Monday then, huh? Or most of
Yeah,
us at
me.
least.
I'm not cool enough.
Well, shit.
Is that Mass Effect? I used
Yeah.
to be on there.
Mhm.
And then I was like, I should probably save money. I'm supposed to become the sugar mama here, so
Yeah.
I will
Meeting
literally
breadwinner.
support this Patreon and the Mass Effect Lorecast Patreon until I'm living in a cardboard box. And if anybody's watching on the Twitch channel, you do it too. Patreon.com/2girls1ship.
Oh my
Aw.
gosh, Meiji.
It's only a couple dollars a month. Do it.
Minimum is $1, and then you get to vote on what we talk about.
so I know I posted up a suggestion. There was another suggestion for like what class you want to be in Mass Effect. Throw up another one, or see if just get Sam to like, hey, here's a poll, make it happen. Someone just needs to prod
Oh
him
my
or something.
gosh. I should have a great topic for our not next Patreon, but someday. It's just like we all have to research what was the craziest video game fan fiction that we ever found. Well, and obviously not the NSFW ones. Or maybe just a tiny bit. Just to keep it Twitch friendly.
You can keep it a little horny as a treat.
Yeah, just a smidgen of horn.
Twitch only gets mad if, one, you're making money on the website, which currently we are not. Two, if there is blatant nudity, which
Oh, we're not gonna
we are
show
not.
it. Like
I know.
describe it.
I'm just saying that
Okay.
this is what Twitch doesn't like. They also don't like the word that is, people use it as a term of like explaining a simpleton, or maybe somebody who really, really likes a thing and they will always choose that thing. I believe it rhymes with the word gimp. And you guys say it, the both of you. I'm pointing to two very specific
Oh,
people in this
we can't
chat.
say that?
No, Twitch doesn't like it. They have banned it as a word. You can't use it in chat. You can't, because of how much money and stupidness that freaking happened. It was a whole thing. You can look up
It's not even a
Simpgate
bad
if you.
word.
You can look up Simpgate if you want.
Okay, I will.
You're banned.
Yep, I know. Twitch no ban, please.
Jeff Bezos is personally going to ban you now.
Oh, ban me with your billions, baby. And on that note, I need to get off of this Jane channel.
Amazing. I love all of you so much. I'm so glad I get to talk to you people. You guys are awesome.
Love you too. Oh yes, big
Thanks for
hearts.
talking with us for so long today, guys.
An hour and 50 minutes. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's bedtime.
Whoever's
mean-
still in the stream, thank you, and I'm sorry.
Probably just Austin.
Yeah.
No, I think he fell asleep.
Aw. Okay. All
All
right.
right, much love, y'all.
Bye.
Have a safe night. Goodbye.